Yes. Hi, guys. Welcome to another session of Live with Tracy, and we have here our special guest, Mac Leger. Uh, he's an amazing massage therapist, and he's based in Massachusetts, and he has a equal body work in Massachusetts, and he has a decade of experience in relieving stress and doing providing different types of services to the customers. And there has been a lot of good testimonials in the website. You can check out uh, bodywork equalbodywork.com for more information about the services he provides, and the location and the contact number and everything. um, it's 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 very honor to meet you, Mac. uh, it's very good, and I really appreciate that you uh, took my call to come to the session and speak about your experiences and give your valuable information to the audience and stuff. So without any further ado, we'll start the session. And so can you share a bit about yourself?
Yes, and it's my pleasure. Thank you, Tracy, for having me. And it's always good for
Thank
me
you.
to get a chance to have a platform to be able to share some things, and maybe a couple of those things will be inspiring for people out there. Because I
Absolutely.
was basically looking on YouTube and definitely find a lot of inspiration. So I'm hoping this help people. So
Yeah.
I'll start by saying a little bit about myself. So basically, my name is Ledger, and originally from Haiti. So I've been here in the U.S. for 21 years and been married to my wife Michelle for 6 years, and I have a son named Jalen. And
Okay.
other than that, I've been practicing massage for about 9 years
Mm-hmm.
now, and it's been pretty awesome to get that experience. And massage is basically one of those things I wasn't looking for that ended up in my direction. So I'm glad to share some tips and tricks while you're at home to deal with muscle tension and stress. Basically, that's why I'm here.
Awesome, awesome. It's really good. It's really good. I mean, the field of massage industry is really booming, I guess. I mean, because of the COVID and the pandemic issues, it's
Yes.
really booming right now, and there are a lot of issues with the people. There are a lot of struggle they're facing, and it's very good. It's very good that you are there to support the people with your services. I'm very glad about that. And so can you share about your childhood experience and your upbringing and um, yeah, basically your childhood and your education side?
So basically, I grew up in Haiti for 14 years, went to school in Haiti. It was definitely one of those things you have to grow up pretty fast because my mother, a single parent, was basically doing whatever she has to do to make sure that, I was able to, my sister and I and my brother was able to actually be a little bit comfortable. So mainly, I went to school there and it was pretty strict, so
Mm.
I'm getting some good knowledge, but at the same time, be able to know that, wow, if I don't do this, I'll get punished in that way. So that really kind of put me in a mindset that I have to do things right. If not, I'll get punished. So in a way, it works, but at the same time, it's not the best tool for every children. But I'm glad I was able to learn something out of the strict environment of school in Haiti. And then I came here, went to middle school for about a year, and then
Mhm.
after that, I went to high school. And then high school was definitely a little bit tough because of the language barrier. I had to
Mhm.
learn English from Haitian Creole. It was a different
Oh, yeah,
system.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
being able to get slowly build up the language and finally able to learn English, it really kind of helped me to kind of get more comfortable with everything else, and eventually went to community college. So those are some of my education background. And then eventually, I realized massage was basically the way to kind of really make a career. And I'm blessed that I was able to go for that choice.
Oh, awesome, awesome. It's really interesting that you had to face a lot of stuff. So basically, uh, so you must have faced a lot of challenges while while you transition from transition from not transition I mean coming from Haiti to US and struggling a lot about the language barrier as you said and culture and tradition stuff. So how was it? How was your experience and as a kid, as a teenager, and as an adult, and starting your career? How was that? How was that?
So so basically, as a kid, when I came here, like a teenager, basically, and middle school, it was definitely different because there was one teacher that did her best. She spoke French.
Wow.
I knew a little bit of French, but it wasn't good enough. But I was able to really get a chance to get something out of what she was trying to teach me, and I started to get understand more of it when I got to high school.
Mm-hmm.
But high school was definitely. It seems like I was a quiet kid, but at the end of the day, I really like to communicate with people. I like to, just interact. But it was not that good at this point because my English was not great. But
I can
eventually,
understand that.
after plenty of days at the tutoring class, being able to, learn and watch a lot of videos and be able to learn how to really express myself, I become more comfortable. And as soon as I graduated high school, that's when I was able to really start to make some good friends because I was able to communicate with people, and they were like, "Wow, this kid is pretty cool,"
Cool.
and things like that. So we built relationship mostly outside high school from a place that I used to work at a retirement home as a waiter. So that's where I basically built all my connection with friends from high school, but they couldn't communicate with me because there was that language barrier. But eventually, the language started to get more comfortable, so I started to become more, comfortable with interacting with people. So yeah, it was a tough experience, but slowly get better and better throughout the years. Eventually, now I'm able to speak to you like this.
Amazing,
Yeah,
amazing. I mean, the core. I mean, the secret to having a good connection and interaction is to just speak out,
yep,
talk, just talk. That's it. And I think you did a pretty good job at that. I'm glad. I mean,
yeah,
and also about the connections you told me that they are very important, a very important factor for any business, and the network you made since your high school and that is this is something very inspiring and
yeah,
very good for businesses and for your personal growth and living with the community, living with society. It's a very good. It gives a very good impact in your life. I'm very glad. I'm
yes,
very
definitely.
glad that you did that. Also, and and also, oh yeah. So finally, we will come to the idea of massage service. So how did you land into the massage service? Like, what made you get into this field?
So basically, after got out of high school, started working part time, and then being able to make some new friends, and people definitely start to get to know me. One of the scenarios, because we were carrying heavy trays, walking around, trying to, because as a waiter, you have to,
Oh,
carry your trays and clean your table. So when some of the friends, they trying to leave early, so they pile up their tray with a lot of things and try to carry it, and then they start to really mess with their hands, so they has tightness on their hands and discomfort. So for me as a friend, I'm like, I want to help. So I basically went on YouTube, and I realized that I learned a lot by seeing. So I went on YouTube, see a couple videos, and then I was just like, oh, I can do this. So I went to them and tried the hand massage, and they really saw the benefit. They're like, wow, you should be a massage therapist. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. So after like a couple months, while I was actually, after I finished graduate high school, I went to a community college and going for a thing called computer ed design. So using graphic design
oh
to
yeah, yeah.
create basically any type of tools like a playground or any piece of tools in 3D, and then being able to have the proper measurement to give to people so they can actually create the real thing. Halfway through the process, I realized being stuck sitting down in a room doesn't really work with me. I like to get up and move around, but I finished it. At the end of the day, half of the information didn't sink in. So basically, what ended up happening, it was tough for me to find jobs. So as I was working part time at this waiter at the retirement place, I realized that I have to figure something out. And the only thing that came to mind was massage because my friend told me that I was pretty good at it. So I was just like, that's my second chance. So whatever happened, let's go. So I tried it. Right when I walked into the place, I realized they show me what I need to do, and then they teach me about the anatomy. So the idea of me being physically into the process really helped me to learn it. And in total, I'm helping people. So that combination just kind of like gravitate me towards the work. Like you see the result happen pretty quick in front of your eyes, and then you have a potential to actually make a living. So those two combined together, and being able to interact with people, being able to move around, really gravitate me towards the work. And now there's nothing else I want to do but to help people with stress and with pain. And that's how Mac therapy created, becoming, or should I say, equal body work come to life.
Wow, wow, that's an amazing story, Mac. I'm really glad. So you started your career as a CAD, like computer aided design, with your
Yes.
CAD, but that wasn't your call, and then you started doing the massage courses. Like, where did you had your course, like instruction for massage services and stuff?
So there is a place that used to be in Watertown, Mass, called Cotiva Institute.
Uh-huh.
So I went there in 2011, and then and then I started to really realize that there's something there, because not only are you helping people, and that's something, one of the things I like to do is to basically put a smile on people's face. So when I see the smile, I know that I'm doing something good, and then I see them feel comfortable with their body. Then they can carry that throughout whatever they do, because they're not in pain, or they're in less pain. So that makes me feel like, you know what, I'm really touching life, literally. So that really helps me to kind of gravitate and keep working, keep learning, and eventually, be where I am now.
Absolutely awesome. That's very good. So you, how many months did you take to finish the course in your massage?
So there's the 9 months and the 12 months. So I went for the 12 months, but eventually, especially for me, it wasn't easy, because when it comes to like going in school, because of all the anatomy information, I wasn't comfortable with being able to sitting down and taking all the information. I wanted to move, I wanted to participate. So it's like a hands-on learning. So it was definitely difficult. So it kind of stretched out a little bit more. And then what I realized was, if I don't do this, then my second opportunity is going to slip through my finger, because it was tough for me to kind of remember all the anatomies. When it comes to the body work hands-on, it just comes natural for me. But I had to really hone in into the idea of, like, you have to put two together. You got to be able to get the knowledge and to be able to apply it. So I used to be able to know, like, when they say do this, I do it. But I didn't have the deep knowledge. So when I could sit down and get the knowledge combined together, and that's where I was able to, be able to be successful.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's very interesting. Like, I mean, of course, if you learn something, you have to practice that. I mean, if you don't practice, and if you don't have the practical practice of that knowledge, it's a waste. It's a waste. So, I think
Yes.
that's how you cultivated doing a lot of communication and working on with your clients, like physically, like hands-on experience.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that was very good. That was very good.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm glad about that. So, so what kind of services do you provide, Mac, in your
So
equal body work? Yeah.
So there's the first basic one that most people that basically beginners that don't really know much about massage, they go for relaxation massage. But that's just the superficial layer of what massage is about.
The
But
base level,
I prefer
fundamental. Right? Yeah.
a relaxation massage. But I provide the relaxation massage, but I provide deep tissue massage that really helps with tight, painful muscles. And then I provide myofascial release. Myofascial release is one of the tools. As soon as I found out, because I continue to get continuing education. So one of the ones I went to a continuing education called orthopedic massage, and that really helped me to hone in and to do myofascial.
Uh-huh.
Myofascial release is very helpful because it helps to stretch out many different area in the body to help bring it to a more of a balance. So if you sit down and your shoulders rolling forward, main thing I like to do is open up the shoulders, make sure they fall back, and then really work on the long muscles, the erector muscles next to the spine to really get you to stand up straight. And that's one of the other um, um, massage I provide. So myofascial, and then cupping. Cupping is basically help with the flow of the blood throughout the muscle and the recovery. And then hot stones is for
Yeah.
relaxation, but at the same time for soreness to help some soreness relief. And the last one is sports massage. That's more of a lot of stretches, a lot of trigger point work to help with pre and post massage, post sports events. When you finish, you run the marathon, and then you'll be able to come in, and then after a couple of days to get some maintenance to kind of help with the recovery, and before to kind of loosen up the muscles so you can go around. So those are the service I provide.
Awesome, awesome. I think for example, like I started going to the gym and working out and stuff. And then
Yeah.
I feel a little bit of soreness in I mean whatever the areas I'm working out. So
Yeah.
so so this massage, I mean the massage, is it beneficial for the people who are doing the gym or working out?
Yes.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
yeah. Tell me.
Okay, so basically, if you're moving the muscle, so imagine the muscle is like your fingers interlocking.
Mm-hmm.
So they like this when you're not working out or you're not moving, but as soon as you move, it kind of end up going this way. So
Okay.
basically, the more you activate it, it keeps doing that motion. But at a point, it gets stuck this way. So when it gets stuck this way, this is where massage comes in. So if you repeatedly doing something, the muscle will start to think that, oh, I have to stay this way to be ready for the action. But if you don't loosen it up, it's just gonna stay this way. And when it stay this way, it's not pliable enough to allow the rest of the body to move smoothly to do what it needs to do. So the idea of getting massage is basically the maintenance for recovery or reset of the muscle so you can go out there and do your exercise, your lifting, your push-ups, jumping jacks, whatever it is, or running. It's basically helping to reset the muscle so you can go out there and perform those things. Like people like, especially in Mass and Boston, people like Tom Brady, he's always getting his massages, always getting a cupping, like, and obviously he does his specific workout. So all those things come together, make him to be, he's like 40 something years old and he's still performing like he's in his 30s or in his 20s. So it's all about maintaining the muscle, and that really helps you to keep the muscle going. And that's why going to the gym really is helpful when you combine it with your massage, any type of body work.
Awesome, awesome. I think that's something I should consider. And I mean, I mean, people who are going to the gym or who are working out, or who are athletes or sports, doing sports and stuff, and also
Mm-hmm.
people who are working continuously, sitting in a chair, in the offices, and nothing to relax. I mean, no time to relax, no time to stretch. So for them, the massage would be very beneficial, I guess. It would be very amazing experience. It will, um, and also, as we discussed in the beginning about the COVID situation. So there are a lot of people sitting at homes doing nothing and no work, and working from homes, and like they're very comfortable sitting at home and stuff. But and I also read something on your website about the human touch, human contact. So
Mm-hmm.
can you explain that? Yeah.
So basically, even I don't know exactly the clear story, but even as like a baby, they say like if a baby when they're born they don't get the human touch, the development will be slow in the slow process. They won't develop as well as if somebody else hold them. And so basically, the idea from even from birth, the human touch is very important to actually make somebody else feel like, oh, I actually have a body. I actually, have those senses. So being
Sensory.
aware of your body and not just being aware of, because if you have to be aware of your surroundings, you have to be aware of your body. So some people, when they get on the table, they don't even know sometimes where it hurts. It's just when I apply pressure, they're like, oh, I didn't know this was painful. So it's very important to kind of like realize, be aware of your body and then be able to know that, okay, this needs some attention. Let me take care of it. And for the human psyche in general, being able to feel like there's somebody else is there, you're not just alone. So being able to have a therapeutic touch is very important. So being able to know that this person is there to help them, their body feels better I think is very important for the mental and the physical aspect of life.
Awesome, awesome. That's what I was when I was reading that. I was confused. Like, what kind of human touch are you talking about? Like
Yeah.
the pressure points and stuff like that. It's very good, very good. Uh, yeah, I think we discussed a lot about the services you provide and your childhood and your about a bit about yourself, your childhood, your challenges you faced, and the idea of the massage services, providing massage services, and what are the accomplishments that you're proud of? Like, what are the success
Oh yes.
stories? Yeah. So there must be some success stories for your career. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yes,
Please share
I've
with
been
that.
I've been blessed to be able to have some success um, happening in my life. So I'm glad that I had a little list. Oh, there you go. So one of my I would say proud that I'm proud of is I've been practicing massage since 2013, and most massage therapists they don't last as long because it's such a physical work. So they end up overusing their thumb or their forearm, their fingers, because they end up providing the pressure that everybody's asking for, but they physically not able to do it. So you have to really know how to have the proper body mechanic to be able to apply those pressures to be able to last long in this field. So I'm pretty proud of myself
Yeah.
for focusing on really keeping my body properly and keeping fit by doing push-ups and stretches and eating as healthy as I can and stay hydrated. So those are the things that I'm glad that I'm able to do this and for me to still doing this work. And I'm planning on at least 10 to 20 more years of being able to do this work.
Awesome.
And the other things that I'm proud of is basically having my practice, because I started in 2013 working for a company, but now I'm slowly transitioning on my own, and I've been in practice since 2018. So I'm proud of being able to say like, wow, even through the pandemic, I actually am able to provide a service. So that means I've definitely developed enough skills to be able to help people enough that they continue to see me. And even though they need the work, but they still mentally feel like, am I ready to go back out there? But the more they see how I keep my environment clean, sanitizing before and after every session, and using air purifiers, and knowing that, especially knowing that I have a son, so they know that I take all the precaution necessary to keep my family safe and to keep them safe. So those are the things I make sure I do, and I'm proud of that. I keep those high level of performance to keep my client keep coming back. And from 2018 to now, it's only growing. My clientele is only growing, so I'm proud of that, definitely. And yeah, so, and the last thing I'm proud of is I'm being able to, as you said, building a network. So being able to connect with other people other than massage therapists, our real estate connection, basically life insurance, so all the type of business people I would normally come across, but now I'm connecting with them, and that helps my practice to develop. And I offer my client not just massage, but many other options
Option.
of how they can benefit their life.
Awesome, awesome. That's a very good. That's very good accomplishments here, done, Mark. I think I'm really happy. I'm really happy that you are growing from
Yeah.
like starting a business and it's growing, 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 and that's I mean that's the best thing an entrepreneur can wish for. And I'm very glad. I'm very happy that you are growing and
Thank
I
you.
wish you very very success in the future. And
Thank you.
awesome. And uh, well, well, we kind of covered the accomplishments and your services and your experiences, mm, and then yeah. So for a newbie, I mean, for a person who hasn't even taken a massage therapy before, like he hasn't any started. I mean, see, he never had any experience with a massage therapist, or like he haven't taken any therapy session before. So what do you think? What do you think? How can they approach a therapist? Like what's the process? What's the procedure? They can approach and discuss what they're feeling and how the process is gonna work out between that.
So first thing first, if the person just want uh, relaxation massage
Mm-hmm.
to start with, then we can proceed in a way by kind of let them know first, no, finding out what is your comfort level. So the idea of knowing like what's your comfort level with touch, with therapeutic touch, and from there we'll find out if there's somebody that's comfortable with human touch, then we'll be able to say like, all right, we'll do a general relaxation massage. If you have any questions, just let me know. And other than that, communication is key, and the key for relaxation is all about breathing. So, and then from there, for pressure, I always say less or more pressure, because
Mm-hmm.
most people, especially if their first session, they don't know if they should speak out. But for me, my session is all about interaction, because that's the only way you can help people actually. Because I have the knowledge, but it's their vessel. So if I can get their feedback, then I can provide exactly what they want. So I would recommend newbies to always communicate. Even though they're not in a position of power when it comes to like who's on the table undressed and who's actually working, but always speak out to exactly what you want the service to be provided. And that's something that's very important for somebody
Yes.
new getting a session. And other than that, if they have an issue with their body, like they had an injury, first they get the green light from their doctor that this area can be worked on. And then that's when I come in to be able to find out where's the injury, um, what's the pain level, and then exactly give them some education on what we can do to help and what they can do to help the process. It's like a treatment plan
Treatment.
for them to get better.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. That's a very good explanation you're giving. Like whatever the issue, whatever they're facing, like why do they need a massage therapy? So everything works when they communicate, when we communicate, when we interact with the people.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So that's the key. That's the key element.
Communication is key.
Communication is the key.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm very glad. And oh yeah, so finally we have two more questions I want to ask. Before that, I want to ask about the beliefs. What about your beliefs about like what do you believe? Like you shared a lot of information in your website about the body, mind, and soul, and
Yes.
their combination and the balancing between them and stuff. So can you please explain about that?
So I kind of dissect a couple of the things, and then hopefully it makes sense for today. So first, we start with the soul or
So
slash energy. So I would say like the energy body. So the idea of like what type of energy you basically exude, kind of get, that's what you get back. So the idea of like what you put out, you get what you put out. So that's the first thing. So definitely be mindful about what type of energy you're putting out, meaning how you approach people and what exactly is going throughout your mind. So for me, my practice is all about when somebody come in, I give them a chance to basically, this is their time. So nothing about what I need to do today or whatever that's outside of this, what's happening, I let it out. So it's all about their treatment. So that's part of the, I guess, the soul part, being able to be mindful of what type of energy you're putting out. So that's something I truly believe in. If you stay in a position of, I'm just letting this person get a chance to reset and it's all about them, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing is the mind. So the mind is, I have, the way I approach it, I have different type of little saying in my mind to kind of make sure this is their time again. So the focus is perfect health, perfect wealth. So I just focus on perfect health. So the idea of like whatever I'm doing, this is the approach I want for their body to be at ease. So mentally, I'm working. I'm saying in my head, I'm saying this body's at ease. So that's my mindset. And then other than that, the body scenario approach is, I know for myself as the body, I have to make sure that my body is comfortable. So I do my stretches, I do my breathing. Today I was glad that I was able to fit that in my schedule. I ran for a little bit to the basketball court, shoot some hoops, and then run back and I feel great being able to do that. So those aspects you're able to keep in check, or the soul, the mind, and the body to keep in check, to keep them balanced, really comes together. So you're able to be there for people or there for your body. So you're not all over the place, basically. So that's my approach to the quickest description I can give.
Awesome. It's very interesting. So, I mean, I understood the body part. I mean,
Yeah.
the so can you differentiate a little bit about the soul and the mind? Soul and the mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the mind, for the soul, I really go more like in depth when it comes to how I basically realize that everything kind of works together. So the idea of like, if I walk into the room
Mm-hmm.
and I have the proper it's kind of like energy, it kind of help the client to be able to feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
Like if I walk in and then I'm welcoming, like I have a pleasant type of approach, basically knowing that I'm here to help this person. So I would say like that's more of like my soul is connecting to whatever that's happening. So basically, my I want the best for this person. Let's put it this way. So I would say it's more like a soulful approach in life, and that I want the best for everybody. So I want the best for you. I want the best for not just my family. So I would say like that's more like a soul connection, because that's a whole energy level. Because whatever I want for me, I want for them. So I would say that would be the description of soul, like a soul connection. And then the mind is basically the little detail of structure of mindset I have to kind of help me process through life. So my mindset is being able to create little saying to kind of keep me in that right state of mind, basically. So I'm not thinking about 100 things that has nothing to do what's happening in the moment. So I make sure to have little things like this body's at ease. So it's kind of like a more of a program that is set in the mind compared to the soul. That's more of like general type of care for the world, or care for for whoever that I'm around, just care for them. But with the mind, I have to create little structure, little program, little design to kind of keep
Design.
me focused on that basically goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So soul and mind, they are interlinked.
Yes.
That's what I understood.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I think
Yeah.
I learned a lot. I mean, I learned something very interesting and new from you, and
Yeah.
this is very cool. It's very good. Thank you, thank you, Mac, for that.
I thank you.
That's very interesting. And okay, coming to the last of Uh, so we mentioned that there are some DIY stuff to relieve stress, to relieve stress for the people who work for hours and hours sitting in the chair, and for people who can. I mean, it's basically a quick remedy uh,
Yes.
to relieve from their tensions and their pressures and stress. So what are the options we have? What are
Okay.
some suggestions or tips you can provide for us?
So the first easy one is basically being able to remember, like put a timer on your phone, at least for every half hour. Take 2 minutes to
Uh-huh.
breathe. And breathing meaning not just like you just breathe, but the idea of you fill out your belly and keep your shoulders open and just breathe. So you do that for a good 3 or 4 times. You take some nice deep breaths and make sure you fill out the belly first, and then eventually the chest will start to expand, but mainly focusing on fill out the stomach with as much air as you can, and then
Mm-hmm.
slowly let it out. You can do that 3 or 4 times. That really get a chance for the system to kind of really calms down and to take a break from all the intensity of what's happening. And the other thing is just not just open up the chest, but putting your arm behind your back and hold it really helps to kind of help to not just open up the spine, but open up the chest, but keep the spine straight. So, and that always takes some tension off the spine when you can actually straighten up the spine. And those are like the main two things I always recommend to my client, because I know that when they come in, they like this. And it's just the body's programmed
Yeah.
to be this way, because either they're staring at their phone or they're staring at the computer or they're
Yes.
staring while driving. So either one, they're looking forward too much. So the idea of bringing the spine straight and then keep the neck straight, and kind of at the same time, when you breathe in, you let the shoulders drop. Those are like very helpful. The key thing is to do it repetitively. If you just do it here and there,
More.
it's just gonna be the muscle is not gonna really release. It's just gonna stay tight. But the more you do it, you give the muscle that movement, and eventually it'll be like, oh, okay, I guess this is okay. But if you just do it once, it's just like, okay, that's really not normal. Let me just go back to normal, and that's not normal. But it becomes normal because you do this so much time. So try to balance out. As much you do this, you do that.
Yeah.
So those are like the first couple of things. And other than that, if you want, you can go on any type of shop website and just get some basic tools. And I'll show you guys some of my basic tools. My background probably won't allow to see it, but I'll try my best.
Yeah,
So
please do that.
this one is one of the ones I like a lot, especially on those random times that I have attention headaches. And if it hurts, don't do it. But the idea of like you lean, you put it right behind your neck, and then you basically lay on the floor. So that pressure goes right here, and then you just take a couple deep breath and just stay there. It really helps to take some pressure off the muscle. So the idea of when you have something that's really tight and you just hold it for a little bit, slowly the tension start to dissipate on that area. So that's
what
a
is
couple
that?
things.
What is that
Yeah.
called? I mean, do we have a name for that? The tool?
Oh, okay. So this tool, the name I saw in it, I was actually looking at it. It's called Da Vinci's tool. So you can, I guess, if you go to any shopping website and you put that, maybe you'll see it. So DAVINCI and then tools, TOOL. So that's just a basic thing for tension headaches that I use, especially when after a long day. Because while I'm working, I'm sometimes looking. I mean, most of the time looking down. So that definitely is a good tool for me to use. And one of those common tools is this thing here. It's like a big S, and then you can just basically hold it, and you find that tender spot between your shoulder blade, and you take some pressure and you hold it down to put some pressure on that area, and you can slightly move your neck to kind of really get some stretch out of it. And that's something that it's pretty popular for people, and especially massage therapists, because we do so much with our shoulder. sometimes we need that extra help to loosen it up if
like
if all of us are too
like
busy.
the I mean generally like the muscle between the shoulder and the spine. That's where we are
Yes.
focusing, right? Okay, okay. So what does it
Yeah.
do? Like it just relaxes the muscle.
So when you apply the pressure and hold it and gently put a stretch in it, so basically the muscle was in this position. So when you apply the pressure, it gives it a chance to slowly start to in, and then when you apply the stretch in it, it really gets it to let go. So the
Awesome.
idea of the pressure and then the gentle stretch, and again, if you can do all those things with a nice breathe in and breathe out,
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
helps the muscle to cooperate. So when you
Yes.
press it, you hold and then you breathe, and then you breathe out. And when you
Mhm.
come back, it really kind of get the muscle to really get the message. So breathing and gentle pressure and stretch really help loosen up those muscles in between
Yes.
your massages to make sure you have some good at home care.
Ah.
Things for yourself.
Yes, 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 yes. Amazing, amazing. I think the tools are very good, very good. I mean, probably we can get them in Amazon or
Yep.
some e-commerce sites. Got it, got it,
Yes.
got it. So they're very good. Awesome, awesome. Well, I think we covered mostly a lot of stuff, and I'm glad we learned a lot from you about I mean about yourself, about your childhood, about your upbringing, and the challenges you faced as an adult, as a at the I mean between the transition from your career, and also
Oh yeah.
we discussed a lot about the services you provide and why the services you provide. I mean, what are the necessities? I mean, why do we need that particular service and stuff? And you shared a lot about the accomplishments you're very proud of, and that's something very inspiring for the audience and very good. And then you shared something. You shared about uh, the procedure, the process for a newbie to how to start working with a therapist, and what's the secret between them. And we learned that communication is the secret, and it's the it's the best part. It's the best part in anything. That's
Oh
very
yes.
yes, yes, yes. Very well, very good. And also we learned about uh, your 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 beliefs in body, I mean soul, mind, and body, and how they affect us, and how how they are very useful for us. And can you share a final bit about how a person should be like you shared, of course you shared stuff about how the soul has to be like taking care of somebody, taking care of and thinking positive about them, giving your complete self to them and stuff. So I mean, so can you share something about uh, a typical human? I mean, I don't know if it relates to the massage therapy or something, but can you share a bit about how a human has to be, like in terms of soul, mind, and body? You shared a bit about that, but can you be specific about a person, like a human,
Yes.
how he has to be, how they have to be? Yeah.
So definitely, I'll speak from my own
Yes,
experience.
yes,
I've
yes.
been on a very mindful journey, and
Mm-hmm.
I think because of that, it really helps me with my practice.
Yeah.
So the idea and it's something I always recommend people to give it a try. Why not? So to be blunt, the only main things we know for sure is we live and we die.
Yeah.
So to know those two things, to know that in the middle, I have to do my best to enjoy it. So my main thing to start with since I was young is be as peaceful as I can. I didn't know why, but I went for it. So I would advise anybody to always work on developing how they can get an understanding on how their mind work when it comes to how the main thing I've learned from that is your your thoughts basically affect your emotion, and your emotion affect your action, and your action become so repetitive it becomes a habit, and you get stuck into that zone. So mainly, you have to really pay attention of what type of things you repetitively listening to or repetitively saying to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because those things turn to habit, and those habits just, it takes time to reprogram them. So I would say, for an individual person, always figure out how you can evolve in learning how your mind work, and what you can do to improve it. And getting a school education is great, but you need to be able to know how to manage this body. And to manage this body, you got to be able to take control of that mind. And that's where, from the right knowledge, applying that right knowledge really makes a difference. Because for me, it's really start to change when I actually start to listen to audiobooks like uh, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill,
Mm-hmm.
listen to Bob Proctor,
Mm-hmm.
Thinking to Result is a great product,
Podcast.
because it
Mm-hmm.
helps us to know that we don't just gain, like, the classic thing of, like, I need to get money to feel rich and to do rich things. You got to reverse it mentally to say, like, I feel health. Like, that's why I always tell myself, perfect health, perfect wealth.
Ah,
So
yeah.
I know I'm healthy, I know I'm wealthy, then I'll start to attract certain things to make me get to that, to show that physical effect of being healthy and wealthy, and especially so I don't have to get anything to feel a certain way. That's one thing I've learned. So I feel I'm always happy. I do my best to be happy. Obviously, things happen, but I'm always in my head saying, like, perfect health, perfect wealth, divine love, peace to all. This is my little thing I say, and it works. So whatever you can do to keep your spirit uplifted, continue to do that, because drama will come. You don't have to seek for it.
Yeah.
So work on improving your mind, improving your thought process, and then you'll be able to go through the stress, go through the friction of life with less friction, with a little bit more grace. So for an individual, continue nonstop, keep learning how can I uh, process through this life with less friction, with more pleasantness within myself. And that's when the continuous learning of how the mind works, how do I make my body feel comfortable. So things like doing stretches, doing a little bit of exercise, and that helps with the body. But the mind, you got to continue to work it out too, by learning some new ways of being productive, or being mindful about what you do. It's all part of growing. And because even though we know there's one end, but try to make this process or this ride as smooth as we can. And there's
Yes.
going to be bumps on the road, but we don't have to
Absolutely.
create it. And the last thing I want to say is just like, we have we figure out how to work many different things. We have menus for a car, we have menus for our phone, but we don't have a menu for our body. So we have to learn to how we can get that menu, so we're not just hitting everything or pressing every key in the laptop. That's your body, but
Yeah.
you know how to use everything as but how your mind works. So
Yeah.
I'm always looking to see how do my mind work to help me function in life with less friction and feel more uplifted and pleasant. And that's my key to anybody that's trying to go through life.
Awesome, awesome. That's very good. I'm very glad that you shared that. So I mean, what I first understood is uh, your body and I mean, so your motto, the motto is the health is the wealth. I mean, health makes you wealth. Um with perfect health gives you perfect wealth. That's a very I mean we may consider is like something normal and stuff, but when you look into that, when you see deeper into that, it really makes a very great sense and very great impact. And about the things you said, like listening to some positive things, positivity podcasts, and you also shared some very good audios. So, can you also share something like about the books you follow? I mean, the books you read that inspired you, the music that inspires you. Can you please share that to the audience?
So, books definitely from the autobiography of a yogi,
Yeah.
and then from uh, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill,
Mm-hmm.
or The Science of Being Well, The Science of Being Great. And then for now, I've been listening to two books, Inner Engineering and
Uh-huh.
then Karma
Mm-hmm.
by Satguru. So I've been
Ah,
listening to those. So I've been getting a lot of good
that's good.
knowledge. I listened to them about like 3 times already because there's always something I pick out of it. So it really helped me to kind of realize that I don't have to make it hard on myself. I just got to
Mm.
keep absorbing some information
Ah,
and keep it easy for myself.
yes,
And the rest will take shape as long as I'm
yes.
being observant and realizing that whatever I'm doing, it has to be something that's affecting others positively. If it's not, then what's the point?
Yeah.
So yeah, so and music wise, I used to listen to a lot of music. I used to be like, I know I like to be creative, but most of the music don't really I guess connect with me because the things they're talking about don't really help me when it comes to especially rhyming, rap, and things like that. It's awesome, very creative, but I had to create my own. So I basically come up with basic little rhymes that kind of keeps me going, especially for
Uh-huh.
when I first started massage. It was really tough for me to be like, wow, I feel so out of place. Haitian, coming from another country, and definitely a field that's more uh, populated by women. So I had to, especially for the U.S., so I had to like create my own little rhyme. So a
Wow.
snippet of it is my a massage therapist is MT. So I had to say the great MT. Yes, that's me. So I had to like say, so I guess I'll say a decent amount of it. The
Yeah.
great MT. Yeah, yes, that's me. Thanks to the one and only Almighty that get the key of great mentality to develop the knowledge and ability of helping the body heal naturally. So things like that kind of like uplift me,
Wow.
and then I'd be able to create my own thing. So yeah,
Awesome, awesome. That's
yeah,
a very new feature,
yeah,
new
yeah.
personality. I can see that. It's a
Yes.
very good. It's interesting and amazing. I'm
Yeah.
surprised. I'm surprised that you are into that.
Oh well.
Awesome, awesome. I mean, most creative minds have different
Yeah.
personalities, and I can see that. And I'm very glad. I'm very glad you have a lot of talents, lot of
Oh, thank you, thank you.
talents. It's amazing, and you help people, and you help yourselves. You help yourself with a lot of stuff, taking knowledge from books, and also and you also help people with your therapies, with your motivation, and a lot of stuff. Like for example, like these sessions, like these shows, you're helping a lot of people to
I'm
reach
glad
their
I'm doing that.
yeah, to reach
Yeah.
their goals and to reach. I mean, some people might be looking for a career in the massage therapy, and this session would be very inspiring for them. Some people would be looking at peace and soul and mindfulness, as we discussed. That would be very important for them, would be very useful for them. And also we discussed about the stress relieving and anxiety with the tools you shared. That would be very amazing for them. So obviously you are sharing a lot of information, and I am very thankful that you come to the session and shared a lot of information, your knowledge and your wisdom in different elements, in different parts. uh, I'm so thankful for that, Mac. And I think we covered all the questions well. We'll be in touch. We'll be in touch. And I
Yes.
personally thank thank all the audience for staying with us and cooperating with us. And also Mac, I'm very thankful. I'm very honored that you're here and you share with your
Thank you. I'm honored to be part. Yeah.
with everything. We'll be in touch. We'll be in touch, and maybe if you have a new update with your sessions, and you have something crazy, something not crazy, something very important and innovating, you are always welcome to the show, and we welcome you very heartfully, and yeah, thank you so much, thank you so much, Mac.
One of the things, maybe it's all up to you if you would like to bring me. And one of the things I kind of like with all the things that I'm always looking at. I don't know if you ever heard of numerology. That's one thing
Uh-huh.
that I've been really. It's like my clients when they always in their head and get really stressed out. I bring numerology to kind of distract them so their muscle
Ah.
can start to relax because it's so different and they're like, wow, how did you do that? So basically, the idea of being able to it's like help them to understand there's many things out there that you can use tools to actually get to know other people. So the numerology is something that maybe one of those days I'll be able to share
Oh yeah.
and be able to try it on you because it's one of the things like numerologists like know the birthday number. From there I can describe the things that might be similar when it comes to the tools you have. And it's always funny. It's not something surprising to see my clients be like, wow, you just described my son or my brother and you don't
Wow.
even know them. So, and it's not because something I'm doing, it's the tools that out there and I learned the description of them and I
Yeah.
describe them to people and then they're like, wow. And I'm like,
Awesome. Awesome.
you can go and learn it. Yeah, so that's something I was thinking about for
Sure,
if I get a
definitely.
chance to come in and for the
Yeah,
next time.
yeah, definitely. You're, as I told you, you're always
Yeah,
welcome. You're always welcome for the
yeah,
session. We'll definitely plan for that in the future,
yeah.
and yeah, we'll definitely plan for that. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mac. We'll end the session here, and thank you guys. Thanks for everybody that stayed with us. Thanks for thanks for staying in the live. Well, thank you.
Good
Have a
day.
nice day.